Alright, what's up guys? How's it going everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gents, we are continuing the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot gameplay walkthrough a few days after the Namekians had left Earth. Goku's household was enjoying a new spell of normality. As you can see, things are quite calm back on Earth. Don't forget guys to take a quick moment to hit that like button. And let's see where the story currently stands, because this episode is the beginning of the Cell Saga. So that should be quite exciting.
Okay, I guess.
You lost a lot of ground during your little excursion to Namek. We've got to get you caught up.
Yeah, but I've been studying so much. I don't think I can cram anything else in.
Oh, all right then. Fine. You can run outside for a breather, but make sure you don't take too long. Got it?
Thanks, Mom. I'll be back soon.
Yes, soon. Understand?
Okay, so we're probably going to pick up with Gohan, I'm guessing, as the character that we get to play as. Oh, okay. I was waiting for him to actually deliver the lines, but hey, Gohan, can you hear me? Am I coming in clear? Oh, Krillin. Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks for everything on Namek. You're a real lifesaver back there. No way. I feel like I didn't really do much. Okay. So, a new menu has been added to the training grounds. Cool. So, we're probably going to be able to power up Gohan further.
Hello?
Now, it's Bulma calling in. I just checked the Dragon Radar earlier, and it looks like the Dragon Balls have been restored. Okay, cool.
Time to see what I can do.
Cool. So, we're going to be able to start gathering the Dragon Balls for the first time in the game. Making wishes with the Dragon Balls one, because it's probably page 1. The Dragon Balls are mystical orbs that can grant anything the heart desires. When you've collected all 7 of them, you'll be able to make a wish from the Dragon Balls menu. You can wish for rare items or a large sum of Z orbs, or even revive and power up enemies you've already defeated. However, the timing at which wishes can be granted changes throughout the story. There will be limitations on wishes in the main story, but those limitations won't be present during intermissions. You'll be able to make as many wishes as you want. However, making a wish will cause the Dragon Balls to become temporarily unavailable. They will be available again after 20 minutes of real-world time. Okay, so they do put a little bit of a limit on that, which I think is fair. All right, we got Gohan now, level 31. That's pretty awesome. You might be able to find some huge fish in Central Plain areas. What are you waiting for? Okay, well, we've just got back into the game, so I guess what we should do is go into the party here, and I think this is where we get to actually pick whatever team we want, which is super sweet. Wait, I'm curious. Can I? Oh, okay, so you can only pick Vegeta or Gohan. So if I swap into Vegeta, let's see. I'm actually intrigued to see, like... Whoops, wait. And I guess let's put Krillin on the team as well. So if I swap into Vegeta, will it actually change my character? Like when I zoom out? Oh, it does! That's awesome.
Where to go?
And it's weird because you get Gohan's voice acting. But there's Bad Man Vegeta. That's pretty hilarious. Okay, so... first things first, we need to pause again. We need to head over to our characters, or I guess party. And we need to take a look at whether or not we can power up any further. And it seems the prerequisite attack has not been unlocked. I guess it has been now. So we're going to go on ahead and grab some well-earned upgrades here. So it looks like we need to do some training missions in order to unlock some of these things. Sweet. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of power-ups now unlocked for Vegeta. Let's do the same for Gohan, because again, Gohan is one of our main characters in the game that we have to keep playing as, so it only makes sense to power him up as much as possible. Oh wow, okay. I didn't realize that I hadn't unlocked any of these abilities for Gohan. So let's do that. Or at least try to get as many of them as we possibly can. I just realized we're actually quite low on orbs at this point. Okay, so that's a lot of upgrades done. Now, one other thing that we do need to do is actually go to the know-how selection and equip. Support gauge will fill. Effective when used by support character. Okay, so that could be pretty good. +5 to guard break, damage dealt. Then heavy blow and supreme power. Seems like a pretty good combo wombo. Okay, so we have ability-wise, I think we have got everything that we would want to be equipped, except for, instead of Masenko, this should be Super Masenko, and this should be probably Crushing Strike. Okay, so we've got Gohan now all powered up. Let's take a look at Vegeta and whether or not we've got, yeah, we've got the best possible version of the character there. We do need to add another boost to him. So that's sweet. Let's take a look at... Okay. Didn't even realize we had unlocked abilities for Krillin. So let's power him up a little bit further. So that's pretty cool. And I guess the next thing we need to do is head over to the community board and take a look at what kind of power-ups we might have. Did we get any new soul emblems? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. I think the last one that we got was Nail. Yeah. Okay. So still haven't got anything new in that sense. But let's go on ahead and see if we can actually power up any further. So we could increase our Z Warrior proficiency, which I guess for Goku would not be a bad idea. Okay, so that gets him to fully leveled up now. All proficiencies +2. Wow, that's kind of OP, isn't it? I guess let's go on ahead and power that up, because I'd like to get, if we can, Goku to max level. Okay, there we go. So, that's the max level there. Powered up. Fantastic. Oh, wait, that increases the actual cap? That's interesting. Okay, so... Training. Okay, so he's almost at max level there. I guess we might as well go on ahead and get King Kai to max level as well. And then secrets for success for training. Wonder whom should we power up at that point. Or at this point, sorry. Maybe... Training level cap increases, and then the Shenron plush increases God proficiency. Okay, so I guess let's go to the community of gods. And... Man, oh man. I guess we'll get the Mega Mass level 5. I don't know what that exactly means, but there's a nice power up, and that's all of the gifts that we had available to us at that time. Okay, so interesting. Does this point to the fact that there's a Dragon Ball close by? Sure seems like it, doesn't it? Could this be a Dragon Ball? Oh, it sure is. Guys, we have just gathered our very first Dragon Ball. Well, sorry. We've had a lot of Dragon Balls in the game, but this is the first one that we've actually been able to collect in the hub world. So that's kind of neat. And that's something a bit different. Okay, so it looks like there is a sub-story mission, and honestly, I don't mind even going on ahead and tackling that for now, because we've done so much of the main story that it almost feels kind of refreshing to be able to go on ahead and now do a sub-quest, which seems to involve this character. Hello? Can we not land? How's it going? Wait, what? Or her strapping her... Oh. So you can't... Wow, okay, that's weird. Huh. I would have never imagined that you can go on ahead and, There we go. I did not know that there's missions that are going to be specific to certain characters. That's definitely interesting. So now, can we activate this mission? We sure can. I guess at this point in the story, Vegeta is not necessarily, like, by definition, a good guy, quote unquote. So maybe that's why she was like, yeah, can't rely on Vegeta to provide the rescue there. But this should be very easy at this point. Oh no, these guys are level 32 actually. So they do seem to power up. There's quite a bit of damage. There we go. That's one of the Kaiware Man? Is that what it is? So these are probably like, what? How would you describe them? I guess like evolved forms of Cyberman? There we go. Okay. Pretty easy victory. Not a whole lot of XP points earned, but I guess it was still enough to get the level up, surprisingly so.
Come on. Well, guess I'll get started. Hey now.
Okay, so we got a seafood course recipe. Cool.
What?
So that's a new item.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hi.
And we get a story completion, so that means we're going to get some more rewards, including 38,000 XP. That's pretty good. 3D medals, one silk apron, and then one fancy earring. Or earrings, maybe. Okay, sweet. So I guess that was enough to get Gohan leveled up as well. Before that, I think it was Krillin that got the level up there. Okay, so are there more Dragon Balls in this area specifically? I don't think there are. Guess we should be able to head for this area. So we do know that we can proceed if we want to in the, I guess, main story.
I think I can handle this.
But like I said, I think it's kind of nice that we have the option now to explore a little bit and that we're not just stuck having to only go on ahead and complete nothing but the main story. Because this adds a little bit of depth to the overall game and to the overall experience where you get to almost build up your own filler episodes, you know, where you get to decide what happens and what kind of adventures your characters go on. Now, one other thing that would be interesting is if we...
Anyone's here.
Isn't this Yamcha's house over here?
I think I
It
can
does say Yamcha's hideout. Okay, well, I guess first and foremost I have to first defeat these guys. There we go. Okay, those guys are very, very weak, those enemies. And there we go.
actually won.
Whew, okay. Wow, they actually give you a pretty ridiculous amount of rewards. And the nice thing about fighting those guys is that you end up getting a pretty ridiculous amount of orbs. So in that sense, fighting the enemies is probably the best way to get orbs and like those types of resources. It just seems like it works best. What is that over here?
I'm losing power.
Losing power? What is this thing? Whoops. How do I... Okay. Dude, these jumps are absurd. Hurry up, go on. Okay, well, a decent amount of rewards. Okay, let's bring up the world map because I'm curious if it shows us where the Dragon Balls are. Oh, it does. Cool. So you can actually specifically spot where the Dragon Balls are on the little summaries all around here. So for example, Luca Village should have a Dragon Ball. So let's take a look at that. And I do wonder if the Dragon Balls, are they always going to be easy to gather, similar to the same way that we just found the 2-star Dragon Ball? Or will there be more challenges revolving around the Dragon Ball? So like sometimes maybe somebody else has found them and therefore you have to fight them for it. Or maybe there is somebody like defending, like some enemies that are defending the area where the Dragon Balls are. So you have to fight some of those, what were they called? Kaiwiri Man, something like that. Like the Cyberman 2.0. Let's call him that. Okay, so somewhere in here is supposedly... Oh, actually. It's actually right there. So that actually takes us this way. Okay. Bit of a drop. Man, that's pretty serious drop. And I think that is another Dragon Ball. That's actually the number 1-star Dragon Ball. Cool. So let's carry on with the Dragon Ball missions and travel to the next area that supposedly has one of these Dragon Balls. And I am curious to see what exactly it will let you wish for. So for example, as it mentioned, you can wish for a bunch of Zenny, you can wish for some powerful items, which that sounds interesting. So I'm curious to see what exactly will that entail. Like, does that mean that you can just get like a meal or something like that? And don't get me wrong, I think it'd be still cool to have some crazy powerful meal for like a crazy boss fight, whether it be against like Cell or Boo, or if we're in a fight that's very difficult, that type of an item could really help you. But I would almost prefer for it to be like orbs or something like that, because I feel like that would upgrade our character a lot more. Or characters, sorry, a lot more. So the nice thing about these areas that have a lot of the...
I think I can handle this. You look really strong.
What just happened? Oh, did that activate this challenge? I like genuinely don't know if it did or not. What I do know is that we have another Dragon Ball. Fantastic. Bring up the world map. So that's 3 of them. Number 4, 5, 6, and 7 are right there. So it looks like the Blake Bog is next for our heroes. And at the end, we get to call upon Shenron and ask him for some sort of a wish. Now, again, I do remember in other games, I think it was either Budokai Tenkaichi or Ultimate Budokai Tenkaichi. I don't remember which one. But you could also collect Dragon Balls. And I think that in that game, you would unlock items, but I also think you would unlock characters sometimes. Like you could unlock a specific character, and as a result of that, that character becomes playable. And that was, I think, the only way to unlock some characters was through collecting of Dragon Balls. So that was kind of a cool idea. Okay, so it looks like we're supposed to head that way. It's kind of crazy to think how much there is to do in the game. Like when you look at it, you just realize there's just tons and tons and tons to do in the game. Because every time that we arrive in one of these areas, there's the villainous forces that appear. There's the Red Ribbon Army towers that appear. There's a ton of stuff. There's side quests or sub-stories. There's D-medals to collect. Like there's a ton of loot. Okay, so let's see Which Dragon Ball is this? This is the 5th star Dragon Ball. Cool. Bring up the world map once again. We've got some more traveling to do. Wait, what? Were we not? Did we head to the Gizzard Wasteland by mistake? Are we not in... Wait, there's another Dragon Ball? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, there is. There's actually 2 Dragon Balls here. Okay. Interesting. So this is the first area that actually has 2 Dragon Balls at once. I'm guessing they're probably randomly generated or like randomly spawned. So they will probably just spawn across the map as you travel. Okay, there's the highly coveted 7-star Dragon Ball, and back here we actually find ourselves a D medal as well, so that's kind of neat. All right, bring up the world map, and now we're gonna head to West City for the 6th Dragon Ball, and then the 7th one is located in the Sacred Land of Korean, I think it's called. So those are kind of our next big stops. And once we get that done, we're good to go. That would be pretty brilliant. I do wonder also, when you get the 7th Dragon Ball, does it just summon by itself? Like Shenron just gets some? I guess we'll see in a second right now. Or maybe you have to travel to Kami's place and then he calls in Shenron. I guess we'll see. That'll be interesting for certain. Okay, so this is going to be our second to last one of the Dragon Balls. There's also a sub-quest here, so that's kind of interesting. We could tackle that later on. Right now, I just want to stay focused on trying to gather the Dragon Balls. Wait. Oh, there. I'm like, what's going on? Why can't we see where the Dragon Ball is? Because it's showing us only like a zoomed in version of the actual town there. So we have to zoom out to spot the Dragon Ball itself. Okay. And that is another Dragon Ball found. And so it is time to do one more quick teleportation over to the Sacred of Korean land, and then we will have collected all 7 Dragon Balls. So time to go on ahead and call upon Shenron in just a little bit once we find this last Dragon Ball. I do think it's kind of a cool mechanic. I guess it'll really depend, like judging whether the Dragon Ball mechanic is cool or not will really depend on what we can actually wish for within the confines of the game. So I guess I don't... Wait, what? Sorry. I guess I don't really want to jump to conclusions yet. So let's go on ahead and first and foremost find this last Dragon Ball. Then we'll decide on whether or not it was well worth going through the entire process of collecting these. Okay, so now we have all of the Dragon Balls. How do you activate them? Oh, there we go. I guess that's how. Whoa! Okay, so first wish. I guess you can probably call upon Paranga as well in order to get multiple wishes, probably, right? Okay, so it looks like some of the wishes are literally to battle the enemies that you've already fought that have been eradicated through battle. So you got Raditz, Nappa, Dodoria, Zarbon, and the entirety, I guess, of Ginyu Force. So that sounds like a whole lot of fighting. Then there is Z-Orbs, which I think would be really, really good for us to collect. Zenny is okay. They're not that useful. Then there are rare items that are difficult to acquire by normal means. Okay, well, I think we'll go with the Z-Orbs then. Summon Shenron. Here we go. And it's interesting because all of the abilities that had, or all of the wishes that had that, like, kind of almost like recycling arrows, I'm assuming that that means that you can go on ahead and reuse that wish over and over and over again, you know? So the wish was for lots of Z orbs. I mean, that's not really that many orbs, to be quite honest. You know, when you earn like 600 orbs from one battle against the... I mean, I guess it's good. Just don't know if it was well worth it. I don't know if I would go out of my way to collect the Dragon Balls, but I guess on the bright side, we do earn a pretty hefty amount of orbs, which means lots of upgrading is in our very near future. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode, we're going to continue doing some more subquests. I do want to get the subquests here in West City completed, and then there's another one at Kame House. So we're going to get those done, and then probably get back on track with the main missions. But we'll see, because honestly, I do want to explore a little bit and try to unlock some collectibles as well. Thank you guys so very much for watching today's episode of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we're slowly but surely approaching the chaotic chaos, that seems redundant, but the chaos that will take place once the Cell Saga begins.